Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. The topic for discussion today is diphthongs, in English RP. By diphthongs, I mean vowels that are produced with the movement of the tongue. There is a dip of the tongue, a glide of the tongue from one position to another. And through this movement of the articulator, the pulmonic egressive air stream that has come in the oral cavity is further modified, and the sound is called diphthong. In English RP, we have got 8 diphthongs, and these diphthongs that we have in English RP are classified according to different places, okay, different places of movement and the articulator involved. Like the classification of the vowel, the diphthongs are also classified according to the rounding of the lips, according to the articulators involved, and according to the movement of the articulator from one position to another position. So we have therefore a systematic production of the diphthongs with the help of the articulatory system. In English RP, there are 8 diphthongs. Totally, we have got 8 diphthongs. I shall be sharing with you on the screen the same articulatory system that will help us to understand the production of the diphthong. So in case of diphthongs, point number 1, the pulmonic egressive air stream is involved. So this pulmonic egressive air stream that is produced by the pair of lungs, and that air stream passes through the bronchioles and then reaches the phonatory system or the larynx that comprise of a pair of vocal cords. In the production of the diphthongs, the vocal cords are loosely held together, and therefore there is a vibration of the vocal cords. Therefore, all the diphthongs are all voiced sounds. All the diphthongs are vowels, and unlike monophthongs, in case of diphthongs, we have a change of the position of the articulator, the tongue. So after passing through the vocal cords to the glottis, the air moves to the pharynx, and just above the pharynx, we have got our soft palate. So this position is called pharynx. So this is larynx. It passes through the vocal cords, and then it moves through the pharynx. And when it is moving towards the pharynx, we find that the soft palate is also raised in case of the vowel sounds. In case of the diphthongs too, we find the soft palate is raised, thereby blocking the entire nasal passage. That means the air cannot escape through the nose. It has to escape through the oral cavity. So all the diphthongs in English RP, 8 in number, are all oral sounds. After passing through this gap, the diphthongs are like vowel, produced with the help of open approximation. By open approximation, I mean that the articulators do not come very close, and there is always an opening between the articulators. The active articulator never touches the passive articulator, and the air can easily pass through the gap between the articulators. So diphthongs can be independently produced, and in the production of such diphthongs, we find that there is an open approximation. Next point is that the production of the diphthong require the movement of the tongue. The tongue first takes a position and then shifts that position from position number A to position number B. And when this tongue is moving from position number A to position number B, the air that is passing through the gap between the articulators is modified with the help of the glide of the tongue. So diphthongs are produced with the help of a glide, and the tongue is raised or lowered. The active articulator is raised or lowered according to the diphthong. So every diphthong can be classified with the help of 2 phonemic symbols. These 2 phonemic symbols represent the place from where the vowel glide begins. The second phoneme represents the place where the vowel glide ends. Although these two symbols are brought together in case of a diphthong, diphthong is not a pair of vowel. Diphthong is a vowel that is presented through two phonemic symbols taken together. The first representing the initial position of the tongue and the second representing the final position of the tongue. When the air is modified, the air is further modified by the lips before its exit. So this modification of the air by the lips is done as in vowel by the rounding of the lips. Four sounds in vowel, among the vowel, are rounded, like o, u, u. These four sounds are rounded. Similarly, in case of diphthongs, the diphthongs that end with these sounds, okay, usually a rounded one. So the tongue, when it takes such position, it forces the lips also to get rounded in order to produce that particular diphthong. So in the description of the diphthong, we have to state the name of the first symbol and the name of the second symbol. And in order to describe this, we have to say that the tongue glides from position number A to position number B. Position number A is, say, front, open, or close, whatever it is, vowel, above some position, unrounded or unrounded, to position B. Position B can also be described as, say, central, rounded, unrounded vowel, above, half close, like that. So in the description, one sentence description, you have to mention position number A and position number B and state that there is a glide of the tongue from position number A to position number B for the modification of the air stream. Finally, we have to talk about the same example, the occurrence of the diphthong, by drawing a table where we have to give examples of words where the diphthong occur in initial position, the diphthong occur in middle position, or the diphthong occur in the final position. After that, we can talk about the difficulties of the Indian speakers in proper production of that particular vowel. In this case, again, we have the interference of the mother tongue, as because Indian speakers are not familiar with the actual pronunciation of an Anglophonic speaker residing in England, the native speaker of England. Usually we absorb our knowledge about the pronunciation on the basis of what type of English do we hear. And therefore, we cannot distinguish one type of diphthong from another diphthong. Furthermore, the diphthongs are not alphabetically presented in English language. They are presented with the help of the same vowel letters, A, E, I, O, U. But in case of English RP, we have got 8 diphthongs, and these 8 diphthongs are pronounced variously. 8 types of pronunciation are there. So in order to just make a list, an understanding of the diphthongs that we have, let us just try to recall the sounds that we have learned, the sounds of the diphthongs that we have learned. So there are first 3 diphthongs that end with the sound E. So E, as you remember, is a position that can be regarded as front, unrounded position, above, half close. So this is the position of E, and therefore the tongue will glide to the position of E. In English RP, we have got 8 diphthongs. Out of these 8 diphthongs, 3 diphthongs end in E, 2 diphthongs end in the sound U. U is a back vowel, and 3 diphthongs end with A, that is a central vowel. So we have 3-fold classification of diphthongs according to the position that the tongue takes after the glide. So the tongue takes the final position in the front position. We have 3 diphthongs, A, I, Oi. When the tongue takes the final position in the back. So we have two diphthongs, O, ow. When the tongue takes the final position in the central position, we have again here three diphthongs, ear, ear, ua. So let us now practice the pronunciation of these diphthongs. A, please repeat with me. A,
A,
I,
I,
oi,
oi,
au,
O,
au,
ow,
ear,
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 ua.
ua.
So if it is possible, please all of you practice either switching your mic on or off, whatever you want. Please practice with me once again. A, I, oi,
A, I,
I,
oi,
oi,
eu, au,
eu, au,
ear, ear, ua,
ear, ear, ua,
ear, ear, ua,
ear, ear,
ear,
ua,
ear, ua.
ear, ear, ua.
ear, ear, ua.
Okay. Repeat with me the sentence that will be containing the verb, the diphthongs. Poor,
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 bay, bay,
bay,
play,
boy,
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 now,
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 go,
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 buy,
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 pair, pair,
pair,
dear,
bear. Sorry,
dear,
what's that?
dear.
Deer, deer,
deer,
deer,
Okay,
deer.
now I'm trying to relate the diphthong with the word. Okay.
Hmm.
A, aim,
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 I, ice,
eye, eyes,
eyes,
oi, oyster,
oi,
oi, oyster,
oyster,
o, oath,
oh,
ow,
oh,
oat,
oat,
oath, ow,
ow,
ouch,
ow,
ouch,
ouch,
air, air,
air,
ear,
air,
ear,
ear, ear,
ear,
ear, ear,
ear. Can I
ua.
say here?
Okay, here,
Here,
here also contains the same diphthong.
yeah,
Okay,
here,
in case of ear, it is the
here,
initial position. In case of
hmm,
here, it is the
here,
medial position.
yes.
Okay, ua, ua,
Poor, tour,
poor, poor,
rural, rural, rural,
rural,
rural, rural, rural,
rural,
rural, rural, rural. Say like
rural,
this: ua, rua,
poor,
poor,
rua,
rural,
rural,
rural.
rural,
RURAL. Okay, the spelling is RURAL. Rural.
rural, rural.
Okay, now return back to this image that we have. I have here the production of the diphthongs that are ending in the E position. So you have to superimpose this image with this image. Can you understand the superimposition? So here you have the tongue at the bottom. Okay, on the top you have the roof of the mouth. So try to superimpose this particular image with this particular image. So can you just superimpose imaginatively? So here we have this roof of the mouth. So if we draw a line here, horizontal line here, it becomes the roof of the mouth, and then an inclined slanting line. Okay, and then we draw this bottom line of the tongue, and then a straight line, perpendicular line. So this is the block. Got it? This is the image, line image that is presented here. You can understand this? The roof of the mouth, okay, the height, then the base, the tongue, and then the slanting line representing the movement of the active articulator, the tongue from this position to that position. So in case of the first diphthong, A, this is the first diphthong, E and I. Okay, these are the symbols. The sound is A, A. So what is happening? The tongue takes this particular position, a position like this. Okay, so tongue has taken a position like this. After taking this position, what has tongue done? Tongue is gliding towards this position. So it is raised from this position to this position, suggested by the arrow. In order to produce A sound, the tongue takes the position of front. This is front position, front. Okay, unrounded vowel between half close and half open, and glides towards the position of E, that is front unrounded vowel just below close position. Okay, this is a description of A. See this example, I from A to E. This particular A sound is not there in our short vowel list. You must have seen we have got a list of short vowel, and this particular symbol is not there. In case of I, A, E, the tongue moves from this front unrounded open position. The tongue is in the open position and glides towards the front unrounded position just below the close or above half close. So above half close, say the line is here. So above half close, the tongue glides from the front unrounded open position to the front unrounded position above half close to produce I. In case of oi, what happens? The tongue first has taken a position like this. Okay, a position that is raised up to this point, up to the point of aw. So what is this position? This is back. Back. This is a rounded vowel. The lips are rounded. So back rounded vowel above half open. So this is half open line. So above half open or between half close and half open, or just write half open. So it moves from back rounded half open position towards the front unrounded close position of E, or just below close position of E. So these are the three diphthongs, A, I, OE, produced in this manner. So these diphthongs can be classified as diphthongs where the tongue takes the final position of E. In the second case, we have got three diphthongs. Okay, so this is the center of the roof of the mouth, center of the roof of the mouth. This is the center of the tongue, as we have seen in this diagram. You remember this diagram? So in this diagram, we have the center of the roof of the mouth, the central position, and this is the center of the tongue. So the tongue will be moving towards this position. So in this category of vowel, the tongue will move towards this position, as we have seen in this diagram, this position. The central unrounded vowel between half close and half open. So this is between half close and half open. Central, it is central unrounded vowel between half close and half open. And from where is the tongue gliding? So tongue is gliding from three positions, three different positions. One is A position, one is E position, and one is the position of U. So first let us see ear. E, A, E, A. That means the tongue moves from the front unrounded vowel above half open position to central unrounded vowel position between half closed and half open to produce the sound E, A. In the second case, see how the tongue is moving. First, the tongue has taken this position. Okay. What is this position called? This is front unrounded vowel above half open to the central unrounded position between half closed and half open. So the sound produced is air, air, air. The examples that you have just given here, pair, care. Okay, air. The sound is air. AIR, air, air.
Care,
Care,
sir.
care, care. Okay, bear, bear, BAR, bear, BARE, bear. So air, this is a sound. So when you produce the sound, you will observe that the tongue is gliding from this position. This position is front. Okay, unrounded, the vowel is unrounded, vowel above half open. And the tongue is gliding towards the central unrounded position between half closed and half open. The third diphthong in this category is ua, 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 sure. Okay, SURE, sure. POOR, poor. Okay, ensure, 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 poor, ensure, poor. So this is the sound oo and this is the sound a. Therefore, the tongue is gliding from the back. This is the back position, back rounded position above half close to the position of central unrounded vowel between half closed and half open, thereby producing the sound diphthong poor, as in the words poor, sure, ensure, poor. This is the sound poor. The third type of diphthongs that end in the position of oo. Oo, as you know, is a back rounded vowel position above half close. So first one, see the movement of this glide. So we have here again a position called ah, back of the tongue. Remember? Ah. But in case of diphthongs, always remember it is the front of the tongue that is producing this place. Oh, oh. It's not ow. It's ow. Okay. Ow. Now. How. How are you? How. Now. Okay. So the tongue glides from the front unrounded open position towards the back rounded above half closed position. In words such as how, now, the sound is ow. The last diphthong is the sound of o. In this case, what we have? In this case, we can see that the tongue will be gliding from the position of o. O. Okay, this symbol is actually not used. The symbol that we have learned, the inverted C type symbol. Okay, o sound. O, 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 o. So this was ow, this is o, o, o. So here we have the tongue gliding from the back rounded position between half close and half open to the back rounded position above half close or below close to produce o sound. So this is a diphthong where we have a glide from the position of o to the position of u. So all these diphthongs you should remember are vowel glides. They are also vowels. They are not a pair of vowels. although they have two symbols, suggesting the glide of the tongue from one position to another position. The classification of diphthong is done according to the glide that the tongue takes from one position to another position. So let us recall what we have learnt about the diphthongs. So diphthongs in English RP are produced in a similar manner like the vowels. The only difference being that as diphthongs are produced with a vowel glide, there is a change of position of the active articulator, that is the position of the tongue changes, and with the glide the air is modified in the production of diphthong. So there are the similar 10 points in the description of diphthong. Number 1, in the production of diphthong, the pulmonic egressive air stream is used. Point number 2, in the description of diphthong, we must mention point number 2, that the vocal cords are held together. Air, while passing through the gap between the vocal cords, produces a buzzing sound. Therefore, all the diphthongs are voiced sound. The air stream then passes through the pharynx, and when it is passing through the pharynx and reaching finally the oral cavity, the soft palate is raised. When the soft palate is raised, the air cannot escape through the nasal cavity. Therefore, all the diphthongs are oral sounds. The air then enters into the oral cavity, and the air is further modified by the articulators. But the articulators do not touch each other. They do not come to any kind of close approximation. Rather, there is a gap, there is an open approximation between the articulators. Therefore, the diphthongs are produced with open approximation. Point number 5, according to the involvement of the articulator and its glide, the vowels and the diphthongs are further classified. In case of diphthongs, the glide initiates from one position and finally settles in another position, and through this glide of the articulator, that is the tongue that is functioning as an active articulator, the air is further modified. Therefore, we have 3 types of diphthongs in English RP according to the position that the tongue takes after the glide. So we have 3 diphthongs that end in the position of E. We have got 3 diphthongs that end in the position of and we have got 2 diphthongs that end in the position of U. When this air stream is going for its final exit, we have along with the glide, where the tongue is raised from one position to another position, that we will classify as the 6th point of our description of diphthong. Finally, the air will be modified by the position that the lips take, like the tongue. So the last position that the lips take in the production of that particular diphthong will qualify the diphthong as a rounded diphthong or an unrounded diphthong. So in these 8 diphthongs, we only have 2 diphthongs where there is a rounding of the lips. So in case of these 2 diphthongs that we have in English RP, where the vowel glide ends with the sound oo. Therefore, ow, ow, ow ends with the rounding of the lip. Similarly, o, o, o also ends with the rounding of the lips. These 2 vowels are therefore the vowels that are also called diphthongs that end the sound with the rounding of the lips. Apart from these 2 diphthongs with rounded lips, we have other diphthongs where the rounding does not take place. So here in case of oi, the lips move from a rounded to unrounded position. In this case, the lips remain stretched throughout. In this case also, the lips remain unrounded throughout. In this case, the lips move from an unrounded position to rounded position. In this case, O, O. If you produce this sound, you will find that your lips remain rounded throughout the production of the sound. In the production of these three diphthongs, ear, air, ua, we have different positions of the lips. First one, it remains unrounded throughout from its initial position to its final position. In case of air, the position of the lips remain the same, unrounded one, from its initiation to its final position. In case of ua, however, we have the rounding of the lips in the initial position, and then the lips gradually become stressed, neutral, to produce ua. So according to the position of the lips, we can classify different types of diphthongs. These diphthongs occur in words. So we have to give examples, suitable examples, where these diphthongs are in the initial position, in the medial position, and in the final position by drawing your table and giving examples of such diphthongs. Indian speakers often find difficulty in pronouncing the diphthongs because, number one, English alphabet has no provision for representing the diphthongs. All the other languages, especially Indian languages like Bangla, like Hindi, they have Sangyukta Akkhar. Okay, the akshar in Hindi, that is representing of the combination of two sounds. So these symbols are absent in English language. English language has only 5 vowel letters, and these 5 vowel letters represent 20 vowel sounds. Of these 20 vowel sounds, 8 are diphthongs. Therefore, it is difficult for Indian speakers to understand the real nature of the sound to be produced, and especially the diphthongs to be produced. Therefore, we pronounce the word POOR as poor, poor, rather than poor, rather than poor. So we pronounce DEER, dear, DEER as dear, dear. That is the wrong pronunciation, whereas it should be produced as dear, dear. It has only got one diphthong, yeah, dear. Similarly, we have problem producing sounds that contain diphthongs in English RP. So these problems can be overcome by accent neutralization and listening to proper pronunciation in English. Diphthongs are usually long sounds because of the glide of the tongue, like the long vowels. There are 5 long vowels, you remember? In case of these 5 long vowels, O, E, A, U, the tongue takes a single position. But in case of diphthongs, the tongue takes different positions. A, I, Oi. Ear, air, ua. Ow, O. So these are long sounds, but these are not pure vowels. Diphthongs are not pure vowels. There are only 12 pure vowels. Of these 12 pure vowels, 7 are short vowels and 5 are long pure vowels. Diphthongs are, on the other hand, long sounds, long vowels. Okay, but monophthongs that are produced with the help of a glide. In case of stress system, accent, rhythm, and intonation, these diphthongs play a dominant role. So we have to learn the presence of the diphthongs in words by careful practice, and without practice we cannot classify these vowels and find the distinctive nature of such diphthongs. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, you can ask.